Welcome to PLSJ's program on Ohio's Gardens. My name is Julie Paquette, and I'm a reference assistant at the main library in downtown Steubenville. Much of Ohio is blessed with rich soils due to the glaciers that pass through the state. Our four-season climate also ensures we have plenty of water throughout much of the year. What this means for Ohio is that we have gardens everywhere, and in particular, public gardens and landscapes where you can relax and enjoy the view. This is a great time to visit the Buckeye State, which is home to vast arboreta, beautiful botanical gardens, and estate gardens that show not only Ohio's nature side, but also plant species from around the world. There are many famous quotes related to the value of a garden. I would have to say that many librarians choose Cicero's as a favorite. Marcus Tullius Cicero was a Roman lawyer, writer, and orator. One of his quotes, "If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need," was adapted from a letter he wrote to a friend. The gardens in Ohio are as unique as the individuals that plant them. Some have similar features, characteristics, or components, but all truly have unique beauty, as you will see in this short program. Claude Monet was a French painter and a founder of French Impressionist painting. You may recognize some of his most famous paintings that were inspired by his own garden. Monet's water lilies are hands down the most famous Monet painting of all time. Even though he has many famous paintings, he is quoted as saying, "My garden is my most beautiful masterpiece." Many Americans think of Thomas Jefferson as the author of the Declaration of Independence, or as our nation's third president. What many don't know is that at his beloved estate, Monticello, he became a pioneer of gardening practices that are still used today. He is quoted as saying, "No occupation is so delightful to me as the culture of the earth, and no culture comparable to that of the garden." Each garden is unique, as is those who plant and nurture it. To help us narrow our focus today, we will look at arboretums, botanical gardens, and estate gardens. Many of these locations are the results of individual efforts that in time have been donated for public use. An, an arboretum is a specialized botanical garden that features trees and other woody plants, but may also include other kinds of plants. Arboretums are the granddaddies of the gardening world because trees take years to reach maturity. Once established, an arboretum can last for hundreds of years. Even if you can't tell the difference between a deciduous and conifer tree, an arboretum is a beautiful place to visit. A botanical garden is one that is dedicated to the collection, cultivation, preservation, and display of a wide range of plants labeled with their botanical names. But even if you can't pronounce all those Latin names, you can still enjoy the beauty of God's creation. Modern botanical gardens are usually park-based and open to the public. Estate gardens are typically gardens created by owners of a large property and then either donated to the state or to a private foundation that maintains the gardens through funds from the foundation, donations, and untiring work of volunteers. Ohio contains some of the most stunning gardens you'll ever encounter. It would be impossible to mention each and every location in a short program, so we have chosen a few throughout the state to highlight. Let's take a brief look at each one of these gardens. Located approximately 30 miles east of Columbus in Newark, Ohio, the Dawes Arboretum is a non-profit arboretum which offers 8 miles of trails, a Japanese garden, a cypress swamp with a boardwalk, and an observation tower. Upon approach to the arboretum, there is a large hedge which spells out the garden's name quite clearly. This hedge is thought to be the longest hedge in the world. As you drive slowly through the wooded areas, toward the end of the tour, you will arrive at the observation tower at the southeastern end of the arboretum. Climbing the tower gives a great view of the surroundings. It's always a good idea to check the website for hours, fees, directions, and any special events or messages. Dawes' website offers a full map that you can print or download and an audio tour for the north and south sides of the Arboretum. Special events are also listed on the website, including virtual programs available for adults and children. Hours, fees, and directions are also included on the website. Situated on 123 acres, Inniswood Metro Gardens in Westerville is a continual source of inspiration for Central Ohioans of all ages. Admission is free to this natural woodland, which is home to native flowers, wildlife, and waterways, which provides a majestic backdrop to the beautifully landscaped gardens and lawns. Inniswood boasts more than 2,000 species of plants, specialty collections, and themed gardens, including a children's garden, as well as the rose, herb, conifer, and woodland rock gardens. In our program, we have noted the websites for each garden. This is Inniswood's a screen capture of their website. If you look on the top of the page, you can see that there are different things available to look at. The galleries feature is really unique, and it shows, if you go through the various gardens on the left hand side, you'll see pictures, so it kind of gives you an idea of what that particular garden has in it, and might help you decide whether you'd like to visit there or not. The programs menu highlights everything available for various metro parks in Columbus for families, adults, and school field trips. That's a nice feature as well. Stan Hywet Holden Gardens is the country's sixth largest historical home open to the public. The elegant gardens include a birch walk, a rose garden, and a Japanese garden. The butterflies of North America exhibit is housed in a specially built screened butterfly habitat. The butterflies return in June 2021. In September each year, they have a butterfly tag and release event where you will learn how to follow your butterfly online using the Monarch Watch website. Franklin Park Conservatory and Botanical Gardens is located in Columbus, Ohio. Visitors to this attraction can walk through climate-accurate biomes and the iconic John F. Wolfe Palm House, but there are also 88 acres to explore outside. One of the coolest sections is the Scott's Miracle-Gro Children's Garden, which has a Hocking Hills-inspired waterfall area. There are shallow pools right below where the fall is, and they're perfect for the kids to splash around in on a warm summer afternoon. Perhaps the biggest adventure awaiting children in the garden is the canopy resting in the branches of a 75-year-old mulberry tree, which has rope bridges, an ever-changing nest area, and a large rope hammock, perfect for staring up at the clouds. Check out the website that contains detailed information about the activities and events happening every week. One such unique event is Chihuly Nights. Dale Chihuly is an American glass sculptor and an entrepreneur. The conservatory has 19 installations that are lit to create a breathtaking view within the backdrop of the interior conservatory biomes and can be seen during evenings in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and October. The Holden Arboretum in Kirkland, Ohio is one of the largest arboreta and botanical gardens in the United States with 3,500 acres and defines itself as an outdoor living museum. If you visit, don't miss the Wildflower Garden featuring Ohio native plants, the Butterfly Garden, which attracts hummingbirds and butterflies, the 20-acre layer Rhododendron Garden, and a 4.5-acre Payne Rhododendron Discovery Garden, and their collections of lilacs, viburnums, crabapples, and conifers. The Merch Canopy Walk invites guests on a 500-foot-long elevated walkway that is built 65 feet above the forest floor. The Immersion Tower is 120 feet, or approximately 12 stories tall, and provides a breathtaking view of the surrounding areas all the way to Lake Erie. Holden Forests and Gardens has recently received a generous $200,000 grant from the Cleveland Foundation to support People for Trees, which is a public awareness initiative that encourages and empowers residents in communities across Northeast Ohio to plant and care for a tree. The aim is to have 15,000 new trees planted by 2025. Check out the website for more details about this if you're interested. Cleveland Botanical Garden, located in Cleveland's University Circle Cultural District, is an ever-changing 10-acre urban oasis where visitors find enrichment and inspiration through fabulous gardens, an exotic glasshouse, and seasonal events. During the summer, the 11 themed garden areas abound with a variety of diverse plants. Families are also drawn to the Hershey Children's Garden. The sprawling Eleanor Armstrong Smith Glass House gives visitors a glimpse of two worlds under one roof. One half is dedicated to the desert of Madagascar. The other replicates a Costa Rican rainforest with lush greenery, including a colossal strangler fig and avocado, coffee, papaya, and chocolate trees. Kids helped design the outdoor Hershey Children's Garden, which is probably why it's so popular. There's a tree house, hidden paths winding through tall grasses, and a misting splash pad fountain. The Columbus Park of Roses is a little-known hidden gem within the state capitol. Open to the public and free of charge, it is one of the largest public rose gardens in the United States, with more than 12,000 rose specimens. Labels identifying the roses are put out each year along with the maps and their locations. If you see a rose or rose bush that you like, you can simply read the label and use the information to go out and buy one for your own home. There are over 400 different varieties, some of which you may have never seen before. The 13-acre garden is an accredited arboretum and features 5 horticultural themes. The formal rose garden, where rose beds are laid out in a symmetrical pattern. The heritage rose garden, rose varieties cultivated before 1867 can be found there. Perennial garden has more than 100 varieties of bulbs, perennials, shrubs, and trees. The herb garden has more than 100 varieties of plants, grouped by usage, fragrance, and pollinator qualities. And the backyard garden has low-maintenance bulbs, perennials, shrubs, and trees designed to give visitors creative ideas for their own gardens. The park is open all year long, but late spring and summer are the best months to see the blooms and smell that beautiful rose fragrance. The website contains a helpful map to use for planning a visit. Fellows Riverside Garden is another free public garden located at the northern end of Mill Creek Park in Youngstown, Ohio. Each year, over 40,000 bulbs announce the arrival of spring. Crocus, tulips, narcissus, and other bulbs give forth their joyful colors in abundance. Annuals by the thousands replace the bulbs as they subside. The Fellows Riverside Garden website includes a map of the gardens and a layout that helps you plan your visit and see the actual size of various areas, which you can also print. Today, the gardens include labeled flower displays of annuals, chrysanthemums, perennials, and tulips with over 40,000 bulbs blooming each spring. The gardens also contain a variety of labeled trees and woody shrubs with collections of European beech, dwarf conifers, hollies, and rhododendrons, as well as an observation tower with a fine view of Lake Glacier. This beloved garden in Dayton is bordered by the Stillwater River and includes Rose, Federal, English, and Victorian gardens. This garden park has miles of recreation trails for hiking or cross-country skiing and woodland pathways for strolling. 10 formal gardens, including the Federal, Memory, and Victorian gardens, are spread along the property with 6.5 acres of garden space, where Dayton residents plant and tend vegetables, herbs, and flowers every season. The formal gardens are a pleasure to walk through year-round. You can enjoy color beginning in winter with more than 120 varieties of witch hazel blooming into spring, accompanied by hellebores and early bulbs. Throughout summer and fall, a diversity of gardens, beds, borders, and container plantings create a lush atmosphere. Kids can also appreciate and interact with the wonders of nature in the Children's Discovery Garden. Toledo Botanical Gardens inspires and nurtures the joy of growing through stewardship of horticulture, the arts, and nature. It features more than 60 acres of display gardens and relevant plant collections, along with a 2-acre urban farm, and is full of life, beauty, tranquility, and opportunities for exploration, learning, and reflection. In June, the garden's collection of hostas comes to life, with more than 500 lush varieties. Open free to the public, it is the only botanical garden in this region and is visited by more than 120,000 people annually. The Woodland Garden is open to more than 200 varieties of rhododendron and 5 species of trillium during the flower's peak in mid-May. In 1986, the Ohio General Assembly made the white trillium Ohio's official wildflower because it exists in all of Ohio's 88 counties. It is also known as the wake robin, the snow trillium, the great white trillium, or the large white trillium. We've taken a brief look at 10 of the top gardens in the state of Ohio that you might like to visit. When you are making a decision on a garden, use the information on the website and make sure you call in advance because of all the changing issues with programming. We've included websites for the gardens we looked at. Most of them include the following information: a basic description of the type of garden, arboretum, botanical, or estate, along with pictures and features unique to that location, the history of how the garden was started, who maintains and continues the operation, how it's funded, contact information, phone number and directions, including maps and hours of operation and prices. Most can be downloaded and printed. Maps of the garden and layout, and/or a mobile app that you can download and use to guide through the grounds. Educational programs for adults and children that are available to the public, and how to join the garden society associated with that botanical garden or arboretum, and the membership benefits such as reduced prices on education programs and free admission. If you can't travel to visit any of the gardens we have highlighted today, the library has an endless supply of materials for you to use. If you have difficulty locating information, just ask for help at the reference desk or circulation desk of your library. If you are interested in garden-related magazines, there are several available in our Ohio Digital Library. You can access the magazines and download them to your computer. We have an example here where you can see we're on the digital library, and we've pulled up the magazines that are under the home and garden classification. And here you can see the gardening magazine, which you can download to your computer. And you're given the option to either borrow it or read a sample of what's in the text, or select another issue, which means you could go to a back issue, which is a great feature too. There are many other gardens in our state, but we have only highlighted a short list. If you're interested in locating gardens in other states, use the ilovegardens.com website. It's got some great features, and you can actually go and look at very specific states and get contact numbers and names and any information you might need. We hope you have enjoyed this video on the beautiful gardens in Ohio. There are so many resources available for you at the library, in our digital library, and in our databases on our website. Come and visit us at the library. No matter what you might want to learn about, whether it's specific flowers like roses, how to create your own vegetable garden, learning how to landscape your yard, growing fresh herbs in containers, etc., etc. The list is endless. Our job is to connect you to the information you want and need.